I spent some time with a local business that had just finished redoing their core values last week, and they spent a ton of time getting them right. And the question came up: how do core values start to trickle down and truly affect your business? Well, let's talk about that today. Good afternoon. Thomas Joyner with Business on Purpose here. The questions that we kept asking, right, as we wanted to take it a little bit further, is what does taking the next step look like? How do we incorporate those into everything that we do? How do they inform every decision we make and every task we complete? And does it really push us towards our core values of healthy culture, excellence in design, and then meaningful relationship? Those were the three that they had come up with that they really wanted to stack hands on. And so I want to talk for a few minutes about why all this matters. Like, why can't I just come in and work hard and that be good enough? And yet, I would argue that following your core values leads to being great at whatever you do 100% of the time. Like, you can't get there 100% of the time without following them. Can you do it without your core values? Maybe. But if you lean into those things like healthy culture, like excellence in design, and like meaningful relationships, both internally and externally, it leads to a quality product every single time, and a quality experience, which may be just as important. So, I'm not sure if you have ever heard of Pal's Sudden Service. Pal's is a local fast food restaurant to kind of eastern Tennessee, Johnson City, Kingsport area. 30 locations all across eastern Tennessee, and they keep it as simple as it needs to be. Burgers, hot dogs, fries, and milkshakes. You want to get a kick out of something? Google Pal's Sudden Service and look up their locations. They're amazing. And here's their 4 core values. 1, delight customer service in a way that creates loyalty. Number 2, daily excellence in products and service. Number 3, exceptional value. And number 4, training for all employees. And so here's where that shows itself. They time each customer as they come into the drive-thru, and on average, a customer spends 18 seconds at the order window and 12 seconds at the pickup window. It's unbelievable. No wonder their customers are loyal. And you'd think, all right, well, they move that fast, they probably make a lot of mistakes. Nope. With their core value of daily excellence in products and service, they went back and studied it, and they make a mistake, on average, 1 out of every 3,600 orders. It's incredible. So they're fast, they're accurate, nailing their first 2 core values, and it leads to exceptional value for their customers. Lastly, training for all their employees. New employees get 120 hours of training. 120 hours of training before being allowed to work on their own. Everything from grilling burgers to mixing shakes, taking orders, everything. And then every day on their shift, their computer generates the names of 2 to 4 employees who take a quick quiz. If they pass, they go right on back to work. And if they fail, well, hey, that's okay. We're going to go back to training and retraining to improve your knowledge and improve your efficiency. Now, you may look at that and say, hey, God, that's overkill, right? I mean, it's fast food. Does anyone even notice? Well, couldn't you say the same about your technical side of your work, right? You fill it in the blank, whatever you do. Will anyone notice if we do that well? Well, they did a study. And again, their average customer comes to Pal's 4 times more than the average McDonald's customer. That's a loyal following. That's what they want, right? And that's the culture and impact you should hope to create in your own business. The CEO was interviewed about all this training and the way they do things, and they asked him, hey, 120 hours of training. Aren't you nervous you're going to spend all that time training, right? And you're in the fast food industry. Like, an employee's just going to go and leave right after you train him? And his response was as good as gold. He looked back at him and he said, no, not really. I guess the way that we look at it is, what if we don't train them and they choose to stay? You see, that's where our core values have sunk in so far that they touch every part of the organization, because they know they must delight their customers and create loyalty. They must have excellent products and services. They must create exceptional value, and they must train their employees. That's how they accomplish it all. That ensures that the main thing stays the main thing day after day after day after day. So if you wrote down your core values right now, could you point to practical ways that they are implemented? And do you really spend an adequate amount of time on each to make sure that they show up every single day? Would your customers be able to say, well, I can kind of pick out what they really value and what's important to them as a business or as a company? Unfortunately, I think I would wager no. So guys, take the time today to write down those core values. Do it. It matters. People notice, right? People notice if what you say is important is actually important. So guys, dive in, write those core values down, and then ask yourself, all right, how are we practically showing these to the world? How are we practically implementing them with our team and with our leadership? And then how do we actually flesh that out so that it's seen day after day after day? All right, y'all. That's all I got today. Thanks so much for tuning in. I really do hope your core values are more than just little billboard quotes that have zero impact, but there's something that trickles down into everything that you guys do every single day. Thanks so much.